Hey guys, it is Patrick. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really exciting baking video for you guys. This is my first baking video in my new apartment, in my new place, and I'm so excited. If you did not watch my last video, I made the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte at home and it was so good. So obviously I need a little treat to go along with that drink, and what better than to make a Starbucks pumpkin bread at home. I'm so excited. I literally get this pumpkin bread like almost every single time I go to Starbucks. It is so good. It is so moist. It is so fluffy. It is so spicy. It is so pumpkin-y. It is so good. So I found the recipe online. I will leave the link for this website down below so you guys can try it along with me. I'm so excited. I'm really hoping this tastes good. I love pumpkin bread. I really do wish pumpkin spice season was like year-round. It is my favorite time of year. I live for anything pumpkin spice. It looks so easy. This is a no stand mixer or hand mixer required recipe, so all you need is like a bowl and a whisk. You do not need a mixer of any kind, so it's so easy. So let's get right on with the recipe. Okay, so step one is arrange a rack in the middle of the oven, heat to 350, did that, and coat a 9x5 loaf pan with cooking spray and set it aside. So I have my cooking spray right here. I don't know the dimensions of this. I don't really feel like measuring it, so we're just gonna go with it. Ooh, oh no, I got it all over my sleeve. But it looks good. Okay, so step one is done. That was so easy. Let's set that aside. Step two is place the sugar. Oh, this entire counter is, I literally sprayed this entire, how did the cooking spray get down here? What the heck? Okay, clean that up. Step two is place the sugar, pumpkin puree, oil, and eggs in a large bowl and whisk until smooth and combined. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar. This is not gonna work. 1 can of pumpkin puree. You guys, I can't do it with this can opener. I need to get an easier one. I've never had this much trouble opening a can before. It is like so hard for me to do. Where is it? Is it supposed to be vertical? I think I'm doing it. Ooh, did it. That was so much easier than last time. Oh shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna take my rubber spatula and get all the pumpkin into the bowl. And this is so easy, you don't even have to measure this, you just put the entire can. So now I'm gonna add half a cup of vegetable oil. And because this recipe uses oil and not butter, this pumpkin bread is going to be so moist. I hate that word, but it really is true. Any cake or bread recipes that use oil instead of butter, it's gonna be a lot denser, but it's also gonna be a lot moister. It's also gonna be a lot more moist. So, love that. So we're gonna add half a cup of oil. Then we're going to add 3 eggs. And I put these out like an hour or 2 before I started making this. So the eggs are at room temperature. And this is why I'm doing this. I just got shell in here, but if I added it to the mixing bowl, it would be really hard to get the shell out. But in a separate little bowl, you can see exactly where the shell is. So I made 3 eggs at room temperature here, and now I will add that to the rest of the ingredients. And then I will whisk this until it's all combined. Okay, and just like that, this mixture is all combined. It took no time at all. So then next, we're gonna add all of the dry ingredients except for the flour. So this recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. That is a lot of spice, but I like my pumpkin spice bread spicy. So I will add, So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of this in here, just sprinkle it around so that it doesn't get clumped in one area. Then we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. A lot of people ask me what's the difference between baking powder and baking soda. And I think baking powder is baking soda plus cream of tartar. And baking soda is just baking soda. So some recipes call for baking powder, some call for baking soda, and then this one calls for both. And this will help the pumpkin bread rise. 1 1, 2, and 3. So if you're baking a lot of stuff, be sure to replace your baking soda like every month. So this will make sure that your baking soda is fresh and that your baked goods will actually rise properly. And then we're gonna add half a teaspoon of salt. A lot of people ask why salt is in dessert recipes. It's not for being like salty, it's for just bringing out the flavors of what's already in the recipe. So in this case, it'll make the pumpkin spice bread taste a lot more pumpkin-y and a lot more spicy. It just like brings out the flavors that are already there. Okay, so all the stuff is added, so I'm just gonna whisk this until it's combined. And when this bread is baking in the oven, the smell in my apartment, the pumpkin spice candles could never. Okay, so again, this is just so quick. It literally takes like 30 seconds to mix in. And then lastly, we're gonna add 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour and then fold that in with a rubber spatula. So we are retiring the whisk. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. And when you're measuring your flour, you wanna be sure to like measure it lightly, like fluff up the flour in the bag before you scoop and measure it, or else the flour is gonna be too like densely packed in the measuring cup and you're not gonna get an accurate measurement. Okay, 2 1/4 cups of flour is added. Now I'm just gonna take the rubber spatula that I used to get the pumpkin out of the can and just fold this flour in very, very gently. You wanna like do this with a light hand. And you do not want to overmix this or else your pumpkin bread is going to be like so tough and so not tender and moist and fluffy. You really just want to mix this until the flour is just combined, until you see no more like flour streaks in the batter, and then you're good to go. So that's why we switched from the whisk to the rubber spatula. This is just a lot more gentle and it won't overwork the batter as much. Okay, so I'm just doing this little motion of scooping around the bowl, cutting through the center, and it's perfectly normal for this batter to be a little bit lumpy. You don't want to mix it until it's like really, really smooth, or else you probably overmixed it. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more streaks of flour, so this batter is good to go. It looks so good. It smells amazing already, and when it hits the oven, it's gonna smell even better. So I'm going to get my little loaf pan that we sprayed earlier. This makes like 1 loaf, and it will make like 10 or so slices of pumpkin bread. If you want to make this into pumpkin spice muffins, you could totally do that as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna use the rubber spatula that we just used to fold the flour in to scrape this into the loaf pan. I'm just gonna take the rubber spatula and kind of just smooth this so it's really nice and even, so it bakes evenly. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is gonna be so, so, so good. Okay, so just in case the batter does like overflow and spill a little bit, I'm gonna put this pan on a little cookie sheet so that if it does, I don't think it will, but just in case it does, it will spill onto the cookie sheet and not the bottom of my oven. We do not want to start a fire. Oh, and just a little disclaimer, I know Starbucks puts like pumpkin seeds on top of the bread. I don't like that. I always like pick them off, so I'm not adding it to my recipe. You do you, I'm not adding it. So I'm gonna put this in a 350-degree oven, and it's gonna bake for 65 to 75 minutes until a toothpick comes out mostly clean with a few moist crumbs. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the oven. I will see you guys when I get back. Bye. Okay guys, I just took this out of the oven. So this has been cooling for a few hours. You want to do this so that the slices become more like good. And it's just been cooling on this wire rack. So now I'm going to transfer it over to a cutting board. Ooh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so this is what the inside of the bread looks like. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of myself. So let's cut a slice. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks so good. It actually looks very similar to the Starbucks one. Whoa, that tastes literally just like the Starbucks one. I'm kind of shook. If you guys love pumpkin spice, and especially if you like the Starbucks pumpkin bread, you have to give this recipe a try. It is so moist, it is so flavorful, it is so good, and it's so easy to make. If you like this recipe, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below what do you want me to make next, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of my new videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.